Good evening, Brian. It's Tuesday. I know a while ago we started playing Pokemon Red and Blue, a long time ago, probably a few months ago, and we had initially planned on playing through each generation of the game in succession. So we'd play through Blue for a while, Red and Blue until we finished, or possibly caught everything we hadn't ever decided, and then progress on to Generation 2, and Generation 3, and Generation 4, and so on. That didn't happen. One of the main reasons, as you know, was because we both just sort of ran out of time and we stopped playing, and it had been weeks since we'd picked up the game. And we also realized that because the majority of the gameplay of Pokemon games is pretty much similar, you collect Pokemon as you explore a world, battling trainers, getting your team better until you get to the end, that we felt like possibly playing through all 7 of them, especially playing through them to completion, would end up being really repetitive and boring. We also realized that because some of the generations, especially 2 and 3, are really hard to come by easily and cheaply, that it would just be really hard to try and get all of them at one time. And then, because Pokemon Sun and Moon, the Generation 7, was coming out in November, we just decided, you know what, let's just go ahead and get this one now. While it's out, instead of having to, wait and not get it, we'll just go ahead and get it. We might eventually go back and play through some of the old generations at some point. I know I'd eventually like to play through all 7 generations. But point is, we both finally got Pokemon Sun and Moon. I know you got yours when it first came out, and I didn't get mine until this weekend, but now we have it and we started playing it. My first initial thoughts are, holy crap, it's fantastic. Bear in mind, I haven't played a Pokemon game since the 2nd generation, so there's so much that has changed, and a lot of the things that I am super enamored with about Pokemon Moon are probably things that were already in other generations as well. However, I'm sure there are new things in this that are equally as exciting, so my excitement is justified. One of the first things I love is how beautiful it is. I'm used to the old Generation 1 and 2 games where it's super pixely, it's a top-down view where everything is, as good as it could be given the graphics, but pretty terrible. Whereas this game is so much better. The graphics are unbelievable. It's 3D, the definition's a lot better, the resolution's a lot better, but it's also just a gorgeous game. It's in full color. The setting of the game is in Alola, which is based off of like tropical islands, sort of like Hawaii or other places, and so all of the colors and setting and scenery is just so beautiful, and it's just a joy to look at. It's fantastic and so much fun to play and just to see and to watch and to experience while you're playing it. I also just love how everything is a little bit better and more open now. The Pokemon battles look so much cooler because instead of just being a little tiny sprite and a little tiny sprite and that's it, it's all black and white and pretty poorly animated. Now, it's a 3D world, the characters are actually animated, there's move animations as well as movement animations, and everything just looks great. Having 2 screens is fantastic because all of the status stuff can be at the bottom while the main action's on the top. And plus, being able to explore a world that is 3-dimensional that you're moving through for Pokemon instead of just the top-down view makes it seem so much more immersive and so much more real. When I'm running around, I can see navigating through the 3 dimensions of a path. Oh, there's grass over here. I'm going to run to the grass and find some Pokemon. Whereas in the other one, it was like, okay, I'm going to move up 1 square and over 1 square and up 1 square to get to this weird area that is supposed to be grass, and that's it. It's just so much more immersive and so much more real. I haven't really gotten far enough in the game to explore a lot of the other new mechanics, like having multiple Pokedexes or the Z powers or multi-part battles, etc. So I'm sure that there's going to be a lot more excitement coming, as I am still very early on in the game, but I love it so far. It's fantastic. I'm so glad that we have it and that we're playing it together, and it brings me right back to my childhood and all of the magic that was the Pokemon series. I've got to say, I think the Pokemon series, even though I've only played a couple games, is probably one of my favorite game series. Just the general mechanics of the game and how it works is just perfect for me, and it really, is something that I really enjoy. So I'm very excited to have this new chapter of it and to be able to play it along with you. I look forward to seeing your video tomorrow, Brian, and have a good night.